Today's video is about infantilization and narcissistic parents. Narcissistic parents never want their children to grow up. A child is much easier to control than a self-sufficient adult, after all. Narcissistic parents accomplish this by making their child feel like they're forever the child. This is done primarily through evil tactics such as making their child feel shame, fear, guilt, also by manipulating the child and reminding him or her who the adult is in this relationship. To show you what I mean, I'll share some examples from my own life. I was a teenager in the 1980s. My friends were wearing makeup by the 8th grade and dating by the same time. I, however, was not. Also, although my mother told me for years that I could date at 16, when I met my husband just prior to turning 17, my mother went completely ballistic when I said I wanted to date him. Her abuse quickly hit its peak, and all because I said I wanted to date, and I called her out on saying that I could at 16. She refused to let me date him until 1 week before my 18th birthday. Another way my mother and many other narcissistic mothers keep their children childish is to control their appearance. My mother dressed pretty much the same way my entire life, and she always tried to make me dress like her, especially during my childhood. As an adult, my mother would still buy me clothes that are in her taste, not mine. When I was 29, she got us matching shirts for Christmas that year. Age-appropriate activities were also discouraged. I was not allowed to get a driver's license until I was 18, and my mother could no longer legally stop me. She did, however, hide my birth certificate and showed it to the employee at the DMV while not allowing me to see it. To this day, I've never seen her copy of my birth certificate. I moved out of my parents' home just after I turned 19, and mine was livid. She acted like I was betraying her by moving out. It seemed she took it as much more of a betrayal than a natural course of events. Being on my own didn't stop her infantilizing behavior, though. My mother constantly did little things to show me she disapproved of me. She would insult my home or the town where I live, my car, and even my pets constantly. Behaviors like this are not only painful for a child, no matter what that child's age, they also create a deep insecurity and anxiety in the child. A child can grow up overly dependent on the abusive parent. When a parent treats a child as if mother or father always knows best, it ruins the child's ability to trust her own instincts and intelligence. Once an infantilized person realizes what's happening, reversing the damage takes a long time and a lot of work. I was 16 when I began to see my mother's opinions weren't good for me, but they were good for her. As of the time I'm making this video, I am now 47, and I still have doubts about myself a lot more often than I care to admit. Even so, the amount of time and energy I've put into shutting out her behavior has been worth it to learn to trust myself. I recommend running to God immediately. Ask Him, is this okay? Should I do this or not do this? Or whatever questions you have. I found it very valuable to question pretty much everything. Do I really like this? Why do I feel that way? What will happen if I do or don't do this? What will benefit me? Getting to know yourself and not the self that your parent tried to make you into is invaluable. The better you know your true likes and dislikes, the less doubt you'll have and the more you'll trust your own decisions. One way to get to know yourself is to learn your Myers-Briggs personality type. I found it to be an indispensable tool for getting to know myself. You also have to learn to trust your instincts. Infantilization ruins one's ability to trust their own instincts, unfortunately. It does get easier, though, the more you do it. As hard as it can be, with prayer and effort on your part, you really can conquer the damage done by infantilization. Thank you for watching my video.